What's happening, fight fans? Welcome to the Zapata Brand Podcast, Boxing Edition. This is my recap of today's fight. It was between Artur Beterbiev and Dmitry Bivol, and as I predicted would happen, Bivol tried to outbox the more powerful, and well, he is a good boxer too, Beterbiev. And in the first few rounds that was happening, I thought that Bivol was dominating the first probably four rounds. Five, it got a little shaky for Betebiev, for Bivol, as I think Bivol was starting to feel Beterbiev's power. Now, ultimately, at the end of this fight, it was a who you liked better, the boxer, because Bivol was not that he was running, he was outboxing, a very technical fighter, which is what I expected. I didn't expect anything different. Beterbiev, I thought, kind of plowed through a little bit. When he was working the body, he was really working them good. And I think that's ultimately what got him the victory. Now, he wins a majority decision. The first judge had it a draw. Second one had it 115 to 112, and the other one 116 to 112. I don't know where that one was, where that card was in, provided there was no corruption. But here's what I think. I think Bivol fought a good enough fight that he could have won, depending on how you looked at the fight. Boxing is very subjective. I saw all over the internet already how, he got robbed. Oh, this guy got robbed. I'm not buying into that. This could have gone either way. I thought it was close enough to be a draw, but I did. If it was a draw, I wouldn't be upset about it. It was a very competitive fight. But I also thought Bivol outboxed him. I mean, I think you have to take into consideration the rounds before. And when Bivol was hitting, there were hard punches. When Betebiev was hitting him, it was hard punches. But Bivol was hitting him back also. And a few times he did shake him a little bit, I thought, which kept Betebiev at bay. Now, think about it. This is the first time Betebiev has gone to a decision. So I thought that was good for him. I thought that he needed to go to a decision to solidify himself as someone who can go the distance. There was always going to be that question. He did go the distance, and he went with probably the one or two best fighter in the division. It's him or Betebiev. That's it. And what I think happened here was strictly similar to what Oscar De La Hoya, Felix Trinidad was. I thought that Bivol should have put more pressure and used that jab more, angles in and out, and he didn't. He kind of slowed it down. It was on the ropes too much. He did that with Canelo, but just Canelo is not Beterbiev as far as punching power. Do I think you'll see Canelo fight Beterbiev? No way. That is not happening. No shot of that happening ever. Possibly Bivol, maybe. But where Betebiev goes from here and Bivol, I think you're going to see a rematch. But I don't think you should have the rematch in Saudi Arabia. It looked as if there wasn't many people in that. It was a half-empty stadium there. They don't have the crowd base there at Saudi. At this point, I think maybe just for the heavyweights they might, and that's maybe that's their niche that they're going to do, heavyweights or the bigger weights. But overall, it was a great fight. You can't say, and it was good for boxing. This was a good fight for boxing. Two undefeated fighters for the undisputed 175-pound championship. You can't get any better than that. It was a legit fight. 4 belts on the line, both undefeated. One boxer versus a puncher. Now, Beterbiev can box though, but it was a boxer puncher type of deal. And I think ultimately the crowd pleasing style won. I did think Bivol won, in my opinion. I would have been okay with a draw. I do think he won those rounds early enough to bank him. I mean, I think it was 4-1. I had it after 5. And I thought, man, he's going to run away with this. But then I think he slowed down. I think the punching power, even though it was on his arms and on his sides and to the body, that slowed Bivol down. And there was a couple times he was really hurt and he was really not engaging at all in those middle rounds. What I think will ultimately be Bivol's, what I think ultimately be Beterbiev's success is that him going those 12 rounds actually helps him. I look forward to his next fight because I think he's grown a little bit here, although he is 39. In the first couple rounds, I thought, he got old overnight. But as you could tell, obviously, looking at Bivol's face at the end of the fight, this is he's not old, definitely. But overall, the fight was a good fight. It was a fight that I would recommend you watching if you haven't watched it. It was good for boxing. Boxing needed this. I was a little disappointed. I did make another, and again, my pick again is wrong. I picked Bivol to outbox him, but it could have gone that way. It really could have if you looked at it subjectively in the way that I looked at it. I looked at it as a guy putting on a boxing clinic, but ultimately Betebiev got through the firing line, and he ended up winning a close majority decision. It could have gone either way, folks. Anyway, tomorrow, Boxing and Bagels is back. I have two in-studio guests. We'll be back to recap this. We got another fight coming up with in Berwick. Amateur boxing returns October 26th right here in Berwick. And I'll have Coach Rich on tomorrow. Coach Diz will be here in studio. I probably will have Coach Leo on this week. Got to get a hold of Kevin Ioli and a couple other guests that are coming down the line. So with that being said, don't be envious of what I've accomplished in my life. Be inspired by what you can do in yours. Have a good night.
Thanks for watching the Zapata Brand podcast. Please subscribe to the podcast and listen where all podcasts are available.